Hello, AEP800. This is Catherine Hanish, and this is my fourth website that I'm choosing to share with you. Once again, I'm sure some of you have heard of this. It's Common Sense Media. I want to pick a specific portion of this site to focus in on, and that's the digital citizenship portion. Common Sense Media has a lot of great resources on their site, so that's one of the reasons I picked this. But probably more importantly is that I feel really strongly about the need and importance to teach students about digital citizenship. Teaching students how to function in an increasingly digital world requires them to be good digital citizens, and I see the need for digital citizenship skills to be taught and reinforced across all grade levels and content area in order to empower students to really think critically and behave safely and be able to participate in our digital world. So that's why I picked this site to encourage teachers to take a look at and use with their students. As a technology coach, I try to create and support effective digital learning environments that really maximize the learning for all students. But once the students leave the classroom or the school building, I really can't control their digital environment. So they really need to gain the skills to do so on their own. Students need to be mentored in safe, legal, and ethical practices with digital tools, and I think that this Common Sense Media website does that and provides some great resources for teachers to be able to integrate into their classroom. Some of the things I like about it is they're grade level specific. They have a great scope and sequence laid out for people. There's classroom posters available, and students can use games and interactives to kind of reinforce some of the skills and information that they need to keep in mind when they're out there in that digital world. The purpose or goal of this video is once again to inform teachers about this free resource, show them how to access and use it, and encourage them to use it with their students and to also share it with their parents. So primarily my audience is teachers, but it could be the parents and students as well. The two ITSE standards I think that are covered are Coaching Standard 3B, maintain and manage a variety of digital tools and resources for teachers and students to use in a technology-rich environments, and also Coaching Standard 5B, which states model and facilitate safe, healthy, legal, and ethical uses of digital information and technology. I think we want to we'll go now and take a look at the Common Sense Media website. As that's loading, just a reminder that this site has a lot of resources available, but we're just going to focus in on the digital citizenship piece of it. So like with most sites, sorry, I am already logged in here, so I'm going to log out just so we can kind of see what the process would be. As is with most sites, you can create a new free login. So you can either do it through use of through a social media login or using your email. We'll go ahead and, as you can see, I've already got an account set up, but let's go ahead and just hit Google Plus here just so you can see how easy it is to set that up. We'll use my Fort Hays account and we'll allow that. And you can enter your school name, and once again it asks where you're physically located as far as the zip code, and it's really just as simple as that, and an account is created for you, and you can answer a few more questions as far as which grades you teach and areas, what your role is. I'm going to just put support staff here. I'm going to pick 6th And you can see you can pick multiple grades because I'm working in a middle school this year. And I actually learned about this a long time ago through a presentation, so you could also skip through this, as you can see. It also lets you subscribe to any and all of these type of things. A digital classroom, you'll get just some tips and that kind of stuff. If you don't want to, you can skip for now, which we will. And we're going to continue to the site. Just that easy to get signed up. Like as I said before, we're going to kind of focus in on the digital citizen piece of this Common Sense Media's site. They have a great definition of what digital citizenship is and what it is that they're trying to accomplish. In here, they talk about what they cover. We're going to walk through those features here in a minute. I love the fact that they have it laid out by grade level. As you can see, the curriculum covers K through 12, and you can download the whole scope and sequence PDF if you want, but otherwise you can just scroll down here. You can see if you click on a particular grade level, it walks you through the different areas that are covered. We're going to take a look at the 6th, 8th grade because that's the area that I'm working in this year. You can look at the different units. One of the great things is they do provide training, actual professional development, if you want to take the time to go through that before you actually start rolling this out to your classes. You can just go through it, pick the individual lessons that you want, or go through it from top to bottom. I like that. I like the fact that you can filter by topic. Maybe you want to talk about copyright and Creative Commons. It will narrow down which lessons in which units would cover that. So we can see that a creator's right is covered in Unit 1, Lesson 5, and then also it covers responsibility then in Unit 2, and then you also have another lesson in Unit 3. Or if you just want to see what's totally in the lessons, then they also will tell you what those lessons cover based on those categories. So I think that's really nice. The other thing that's really a nice feature that they have is they have 3 different kind of game interactive type categories. The digital passport area is really for grades 3 to 5, and it is games that address key issues facing kids today. Things like why it's important to avoid multitasking on cell phones, or evaluate online messages, and they talk about cyberbullying and how to search effectively online, and even how to remix different media content. But like I said, that particular digital passport is geared for the 3rd through 5th grade. Digital Compass is really geared for the 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. And once again, it's laid out a little bit differently, but it allows students to choose kind of an interactive experience where they can kind of make mistakes and then see what happens when they make not such a good decision on in a digital world, and without that really affecting them. So, and then they can kind of work through the solutions, and there's some mini games in there, and so they can really, without risk in the real world environment, kind of explore what happens when you do certain things online. The Digital Bites piece is really talks about digital citizenship through like activities and real world dilemmas. This is kind of geared for maybe after school programs or community centers, but it would work well in a blended learning classroom environment where you could use a short kind of activity that teaches digital citizenship and critical thinking about media consumption and creation. Like I said before, they have professional development. That's where you'd find that under the curriculum tutorial. Under Connecting Families, this is an area that addresses, cyberbullying and photo sharing and online safety, and it's really geared for maybe more like the PTAs or hosting kind of a community environment, which is kind of a nice piece. Like I said, this is kind of a full featured curriculum. One of the other really nice pieces to this is I like the classroom posters. Once again, it's appropriate. They're set up by grade levels. One of the things, you take a look at this fake or real. That's such a hot topic right now. Can your students tell the difference? You can download that poster and print it out and then put it up in your classroom. But you can see there's a nice variety of different posters over a lot of different topics. Pause, think, online. So I would encourage you to go check those out. They also have toolkits available here that you can download and use that are resources to not only engage your students but their families. This would be something I would encourage you to share with your parents. Once again, that Beyond Fake News is a great toolkit that talks about figuring out whether something's real or fake, and it really helps with that critical thinking piece. So as you can see, Common Sense Media has really developed a comprehensive curriculum that includes lesson plans and videos and interactive, even assessments. I didn't point that out, but along with the professional development and the family outreach, I really hope that you take a minute to check this resource out. Thanks for listening.